We're live streaming. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tarot Today Live. I'm Dax Carlisle, and this is my fabulous co-host, Mary Brown. Hey,
Hey,
Mary.
everybody. Hey,
Oh,
Dax. Hey,
wow.
everybody. Here we are. We made it. We made it.
We made it. We're sorry we're a few minutes late, but we had some technical issues. You know, it's Mercury retrograde. I'm just going to blame
Yeah.
that. I'm just going to
Yes.
blame that.
For
Yeah,
everything. For everything.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So, I'm going to go over to YouTube and you guys can talk to us in the comments here. I just want to go and make sure the live is actually live. Let's see if it's actually working here. Hey,
It
it
would be
looks like,
great.
yeah. So I'm going to say hello, everyone, in the comments there. And if you're listening to us anywhere else, hey, come over to the YouTube channel because that's where I'm in the comments. That's right. We will get your comments from Facebook though too, as well. So if you're on Facebook or Twitter, I don't think, let's see. Oh, you can send comments from LinkedIn too, but I will not be able to write back apparently. Yeah, they haven't figured that part out. Yeah, it's a LinkedIn thing. But on Facebook and on YouTube, you can send us messages and you can request mini readings and ask us questions and all the like. Yes. So normally we live stream video cast here to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, which we're doing right now. We also simulcast on Blog Talk Radio. We've been doing Blog Talk Radio we're in our 13th year, Mary. We're going to be going into our 14th year soon.
Don't tell everybody. They're going to think we're ancient.
We
And we're
are.
only middle-aged.
We are. Wow. And so we go to call into Blog Talk and into the Zoom, and the Zoom connection wasn't working. Mercury retrograde. That's right. So unfortunately, we are not simulcasting on Blog Talk. We'll be uploading the replay, so you'll all have the audio podcast later after the show is over. So this is the last Saturday of the month. Psychic Spin, Mary.
Psychic spin. It's so exciting. And if everybody's wondering, like, what am I shouting about? You're not shouting, I'm shouting. But Psychic Spin, once a month, the final Saturday of every month, we do our Psychic Spin episode. And that's when we get to ask the big questions of the tarot. We get to pull cards on what's trending or what's kind of the larger questions. Why are we here? Are robots taking over? All of the things we're always wondering, but nobody ever really answers. And even like trending news topics and stuff too sometimes. But that's kind of what we're doing today is we're talking about something that's like kind of on everybody's mind, and that's the economy. OMG, the economy. Like, are prices ever coming down? When might they come down? I don't know. Nobody seems to know. So we're going to ask the tarot and see what happens.
Yeah. And we also have the numerology of the day, the card of the day. Unfortunately, we don't have the phone lines. The 714 number that we give out, you can't call in, unfortunately, but you can go over to tarottoday.live. You just open a new tab in your browser, tarottoday.live. It'll take you right to our channel. And right at the top, you're going to see the live. Click on the live. You can go into the comments there and you can ask for a mini reading right in there. So we'll be monitoring that, checking to see if anybody is popping in there. Sharona's in Facebook and just said hi to Sharona. Hey, Sharona. Yes, here we are. We're going to do our card of the day, numerology of the day. So what's going on? Oh my God. What I really like about today is it's a lot of those creativity and communication numbers, the 369 subgroup of the 9 numbers in numerology. And the day is the 24th. So that reduces to 6, 2 + 4, 6. And the entire date reduces to 3, creativity and communication. And so I pulled some cards and I love when the synchronicity happens, because I pulled and got the 3 of Cups. Yeah. So it's that same 3 energy there. And of course, with the 3 of Cups, well, they're having a good time.
Time to party.
So it's time to party today. Yep. Time to party.
Awesome.
I got a bunch of Wands cards. Like, that was my main card. But then I also pulled the 9 of Wands. And 9 is part of that same subgroup of numbers as the 6 and the 3. And then I also got another 3. I got the 3 of Wands. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm loving this. Your ship's coming in. I love that. See the ship. And lastly, I got the Strength card.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yes. And what I'm getting, and I love the way Chiro did that. The lion is
Mhm.
just great. So what I think is good, what's going on, what I think is, I can't talk. What I think is going on is, let your hair down today, rest and recuperate, recover your strength. That's what I
Mm,
think's going on. Okay. And
yeah.
also, we talk about career and passion and things like that with the fire energy, with the wands. But it's also vitality. And I think we all need to, what's the word for re-energize, recuperate, we need to, let our hair
Get it
down,
together.
party a little, and
Take it
relax,
easy. Kick back.
relax. Yeah. Kick back, re-energize, fill up the batteries.
Yeah.
So and then of course also along with that, the 3 energy and the 6 energy is the nurturing energy. In fact, we're in a world year of 6, and then the energy today is also 6. So it's that
Mm.
return to balance and harmony after the chaos of 5. So if you've had a really chaotic week, that's what
Mm.
these cards and the numbers are telling you, that you need to rest and recuperate. You need to get your energy levels back up, build up the strength again, strength card. And also, creativity and communication with all these 3s, go ahead and spend some time, some relaxing time doing something relaxing that's also creative, whether you're knitting or you're building something or you're painting or, anything like gardening. Go out in the garden, and do something creative today. So that's what I got, Mary. Did you get a card of the day?
I'm getting one right now as
Oh,
we
okay.
speak. I'm
Cool.
going to shuffle. We're going to see what magical, mystical, potentially interesting, hopefully, card will come up here. And I'm using the Crystal Power Tarot deck, which I love. Let me just show you the back design. I don't know if you could see that, but like when you spread the cards out, it's like this endless crystal rainbow. I like it. It's very pretty. It's by, I don't know, somebody really great. I forget who did the deck. Jane somebody. I want to say Jane, I don't know, Lyle, maybe. I'm not sure, but she does a lot of those decks. And anyway, so the card is, ooh, oh my gosh, it's the 9 of Pentacles. You know how you got like the 9s and the 3s and the 6s or whatever? I just got the 9 of Pentacles. I love the 9 of Pentacles. But what's really cool
Synchronicity.
about the Crystal Power deck is that every card is associated with a crystal. And plus, it has a nice little affirmation at the bottom. Yeah. One complaint I've seen about this is like, oh, it's unillustrated pips, you
Mm-hmm.
know, but really, who cares? Because
Yeah.
you've got the pips, you got this beautiful background image, plus you get the crystals that she associates with it, plus you get an affirmation. And so the message, I just want to read the message, and I can't read the message. Wait a minute. I'm trying to read it. Hold on. The message is, I take the time I need to nurture
Mm.
myself. I take the time I need to nurture myself. That's kind of exactly what you were talking about. Recuperate, all of that, nurture ourselves. And the stone associated with it is malachite, beautiful malachite. Do I have the malachite handy? Do I have a malachite? I don't know if you guys are familiar with malachite stones, but they are gorgeous. I got crystals flying everywhere. Hold on.
Okay.
Because it's really
Take
kind
your
of a
time.
really
We're not going
neat
anywhere.
stone here. I have a basket of crystals in here. Hold on. I'm sure I've got a malachite stone in here somewhere. That is, no, that's not it. Anyway, so these really gorgeous. Oh my God, where did I put my malachite stone? Oh, you know what? I think I gave it away. Did I do that? Did I give away my last malachite? I think
Oh,
I
I
did.
see. You're too generous giving away your malachite there.
Well, sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes I run into somebody and, either even if I don't really know them, it's like we'll start talking about crystals.
Meanwhile, Mary, while you're
I
looking,
give up.
can I real
Yeah.
quickly say I see Sandy on Facebook. Be grateful for a love life reading. So we'll be doing that a little bit later on. Stick with us, Sandy. We'll get there. And I wanted to say, Sharona said, Mary, get it together.
I know, right? Anyways, malachite, beautiful green stone, variety of green colors are kind of stripy. It's really like stunning when you see polished malachite. Also, don't mess too much with unpolished malachite because it is kind of toxic. Okay, kind of toxic. It's on most people's like beware lists when it comes to just the polished version, but wonderful healing stone, chakra, heart chakra stone because of the green color. But yeah, nurture yourself is a big message that I got. And that really, really goes along with what you said.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Hey, I want to remind everybody also to like and subscribe. So if you're watching us on YouTube, in fact, if you're not watching us on YouTube, come over to YouTube anyway and help us out by liking the live. So pop over there, like the live. Don't forget to subscribe. That's right. Hit that subscribe button. And then when the bell comes up, click that bell. That way you'll be notified every time we go live. And that's especially useful on days like today in Mercury retrograde, where we can't connect to Block Talk. So
Weird.
at least you'll be able to join us on YouTube.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
So so should we, why don't we go ahead? Who was it that on YouTube wanted a love life reading?
So that, I think it was on Facebook. It was Sandy H. And hello, grateful for a reading on my love life, please. Single. She's single.
Single. That's okay. Single and ready to mingle.
Single and ready to mingle. Wow.
I'm going to pull a card for her from the Love Notes Oracle deck by Lisa Atkinson. Like little Valentine cards, and they give like great advice, especially when you are looking for love.
In all the wrong places.
Well, hopefully looking for love in some good places, right? Yeah, so this is really, I don't think it's very helpful. But the message is love revitalizes. And she's probably like, yeah, I'm friggin' single. That's what I want. I want to be revitalized by love. And also love knows. Sometimes these cards are fantastic and other times and love transcends. Okay. I'm just gonna pull a tarot card for her because this is not helpful. Sometimes it's very, very helpful. It's such a great deck a
Yeah.
lot of times, but then sometimes not so much. So what's really the kind of message for you on your love life? Oh, okay, wow, okay, this is awesome. Well, okay, that's not so great. You know, it's gonna be okay. There's somebody coming in, not at the moment. I would give this, it's really hard to tell. There's two things that come up here, like is like what potential problem? What could be a problem here? And that's the Five of
Mm,
Swords and the Five of Pentacles. And so one, and all of that has the Empress card above it. So it's
mhm,
saying like, okay, we're preparing, you know, and think of it that way. I'm preparing for my love life to start getting hot, to get going, for the hot partner
yeah.
to come in the future position. I have the Knight of Cups. That's who you want. You want, that romantic person following their heart and it leading them to you. So what do you do in the meantime? You nurture yourself, also, put your feelers out. It's hard to meet anybody if you don't if you don't make yourself available, for one thing. But with the Five of Swords, I want you to think about your boundary issues. Okay. Like what
Mm,
rules do you have kind of set up for anybody that wants to enter into your life? What kind of room can you make for them to come into your life? And also, Five of Pentacles, when we're not talking about money issues, bumps in the road financially, that kind of stuff, to me, a lot of times a Five of Pentacles represents a sense of like our insecurities. What is it that we're insecure about, that we think we ourselves are lacking, when it comes to finding a partner, having a romantic life, that kind of stuff. And also take your time with this. I don't know how long you've been single, but
mm.
there's no race to the finish here. And when somebody does come into your life, you don't want to all of a sudden be like, okay, and we're getting married when? You don't want you don't want to put that kind of pressure on, like, well, are you thinking about getting me a ring after our second date? I'm
Yeah.
sure you're not like that at all, Sandy, but boy howdy, there's women out there that are. And I've met a
They
lot of them.
Mary, they buy into the fantasy, which is one of the cards I got.
Oh,
It's
oh,
one of the,
yeah,
I think that's you had what your warning uh
yeah,
came up in the tarot, and that was my warning that came up in the tarot. Don't buy into the fantasy. Um,
yeah.
but oh, look at this. I think things are turning in her favor with the Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh, good.
The cycles are
Yeah.
coming around, and I think someone could come in. By the way, the seven is my last card. That's actually my timing card. And
Mm,
so 7 days, it could happen as fast as 7 days or take 7 weeks, which is almost 2 months, almost the end of the year. So it somewhere in, or maybe December or October, November. So before December, or it could happen really fast. And I do have somebody coming in too. And so we got the King of Wands energy. That's right.
mm,
So potentially fire signs like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You might have a Sag coming in. You might have a Leo or an Aries. Doesn't have to be. Can just be somebody that is, mature and secure, and
mm.
they're
And hot.
and hot, yeah, and following their passions. And I also got the Queen of Coins for you. I mean, that's the mom card, the nurturer card for me. And when that comes up, I think it's kind of a hint from the tarot to try to emulate that. Be the nurturer when you meet the king, because I think that's what he's
Mm.
actually looking for too, by the way. But like Mary said, don't rush in and don't fall into that, fantasy trap. There you go.
Yeah.
So
And
that's what I got.
nurture yourself in the meantime, because I often feel like there's a bit of a connection. It's sort of like the Queen of Pentacles sort of mirrors the Empress in some ways when it
Mm.
comes to that motherly energy, that nurturing energy, that earthy down, kind of grounded energy too,
So Sandy says she's been single for years.
Ah, well, then it's about time. It's
Yeah.
about time.
I wasn't going to mention it, but I did get this other card, and that's something we were talking about with tarot. Do you have to like look at every single card? And remember, you were telling me about John Ballantyne getting into the argument with, was
Yeah.
it Melinda Carver or who was it?
Yeah, way back in the day, that's the first time John Ballantyne grabbed my attention. I'm like, oh
Mm,
my, he has a strong opinion. What is he saying?
yeah,
It made me
yeah.
start listening to him. It's funny.
And I just bring that up because I wasn't even going to mention it, because I agree with Melinda. I don't think you have to use every single card. If I lay out 10 cards and I look at a couple of them and it answers the question, I think we lose track of the fact that we're only supposed to be answering the question that's asked.
This sounds like a tarot teaching moment to me here.
Tarot teaching moment. Yeah. Well, what I wanted to say for Sandy was that the Hermit did come up. And so seeking some wise counsels, talking to your confidants might help you with this. They might have some great suggestions in your area, how to meet people, how to mix, get out there, And by the way, with it being, what was the first card of the day I got? It was the Three of Cups.
Three
Yeah.
cups, time to mingle. Have get out
Ladies
there.
night out, it's Saturday. Go out with your friends and mingle.
Yeah.
Single and ready
Have
to
a
mingle.
yeah. I think it looks
Awesome.
pretty good for you, Sandy. I think it does. And it looks like it's about time.
Yeah.
And again, just don't, check the insecurities, they're not
Mm-hmm.
serving you. You don't need them. And also look about, your boundaries. Do you have room for
Yeah.
it? When we've been single for years, and even if we've not been single for years, and we can get set in our ways, and that makes it difficult because when we're coming into a new relationship, we're creating that us, that we-ness of it all. And that always involves meeting in the middle, a little bit of compromise. How do we fit together? How does this person fit into my routine and my life and my lifestyle? How do I fit into theirs? Because there's two people, it takes two to tangle.
Writing some people back and everything like that. People are spamming in the questions. It's like, folks, you only have to put it in once. We're gonna get to you when we get to you. Okay.
Well, look.
Calm down,
Yeah, but
everybody.
thanks for the question, Sandy.
Yes, and Sandy also said about that nurturing herself, and
Yes,
that's a great
that
idea.
Empress. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So we got a question coming in on YouTube.
Ooh.
And this is from Mukesh Kumar. Okay. I want to know when I will join as a government employee. So apparently they're looking to get a government job.
Join.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. If you want to clarify that a little bit better, Mukesh, that's fine. But hey, well, we'll just pull a card and see what happens. Oh, it is happening. It's just going slow. So here we are, Six of Wands. Okay. There's a lot of wands.
Six
Wands
of Swords.
swords. I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. I'm so mentally frustrated with the whole thing from, Mercury retrograde and how we couldn't get on to Blog Talk. And, I'm still thinking about that, like how I could have corrected that,
Let it
um,
go.
that
Let it
problem. I
go.
know. Well, I have a hard time doing that. I'm a guy. Guys fix things, and it's very difficult for us. I'm like, oh, I got to figure out what to do if that happens in the next
Be
time.
be here
So,
now, as
so
Ram
let
Dass would say.
Okay, well, I will if you be quiet for a second. I can actually jump in here and let me talk about the damn card. Anyway, um, Six of Swords. Okay, so you're making slow, steady progress towards that goal. Swords are thoughts and ideas. You're overthinking this whole thing. You're way overthinking it. But it is going to happen. And you ask when. Six, hey, it could happen as quick as 6 days, might take 6 weeks, might take 6 months, depending on your focus. And, we have a lot more control than people think we do, where is your focus? Is your focus on trying to bring that in, or is your focus on the lack of it? And anything that you put out to the universe, you're going to get more of. So if you're focused on, I haven't got the government job yet, the universe is going to send you more of that. You don't want that. No. So you want to set the intention and bring this in and then let it go. There's that old saying, how do you say it, Mary? Let go and let God.
Let go or be dragged.
Yeah,
Too.
no,
It's
it's
a great
let go
Buddhist
or
tone.
yeah. No, the one I'm thinking of is let go and let God. Is
Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that way you're not overthinking things like in that Six of Swords,
Hmm.
So there you go. I don't know if did you pull a card for question for
I
this?
did, and I got the Six of Pentacles.
Uh,
So another thing with that
yeah.
that six number, and again, like to me, Pentacles like this, it moves slower because it's Earth energy. But the great thing about the Six of Pentacles is like you might have somebody helping you with this because I also got the Knight of Swords. So I feel like maybe there's somebody that maybe has the kind of job that you are trying to get into,
Mm-hmm.
and they may be able to put a good word in or something or help you in some sort of way, or the job itself could be like a gift, but yeah, oddly enough, I feel like we're looking more like in the 6 month time frame than sooner. It might be
Yeah.
after and within that time frame, like maybe after the new year or something like that. But I
Yeah.
think it is going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody might be able to be helpful to you in getting that position.
Well, 6 is also the number of success, and we both got a 6 card. So there you go.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you're going to be successful at that. So if
Yes.
anybody has any more reading requests, go ahead and pop it in the comments wherever you're watching us: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Come over to the YouTube channel. It's tarottoday.live. That's tarottoday.live. And, don't forget to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and hey, like the video, watch some of our other videos. We're going to be putting up a lot of, tarot videos and educational stuff there. Also wanted to mention while we're waiting for more comments, besides requesting a reading, you can always ask questions in all these shows. So we're doing lives now 3 days a week. We're doing them Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So if you have questions about tarot, maybe you're having trouble with timing or court cards, or any of your burning questions about tarot, you can ask about numerology, crystals, the mind, law of attraction, hypnosis, pretty much between Mary and I, we have everything covered. And if we don't know the answer, we'll go out and find it for them, right, Mary? And do a special video.
Absolutely. That's even fun. And again, this is our psychic spin episode. So if you have any psychic spin questions too, like
The big
why are we
question.
here? Why
Yeah.
do I exist?
And we were talking about that. Now that we're on 3 days a week, if something pops up in the middle of the week, we got some kind of, something in the news, we may do a mini psychic spin, where we pull some cards on that, and talk about it on the show. So be sure to tune in. You don't know what's going to come up on the shows every day. Plus, we're going to have a learning segment, or try to have some kind of learning segment on every show as well. So that's something to look forward to. Before we get into the psychic spin, I wanted to mention that you can book a private reading with us. We have the tag team readings. So you can book a private, intimate session with Mary and I. So we're going to do not just tarot, but oracle cards, numerology, chakra reading. I'll do your whole numerology chart. And it's just like here on the show, like our mini readings, only here on the show, we only got a few minutes to spend with you. We'll be able to go in depth in a lot of areas and answer a lot of your questions on these tag team readings. And you just go over to tagteam.tarottoday.live. Right, Mary?
Awesome sauce. Yes. Yes. A lot of fun. And a lot of information too.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing about it though is for the tag team readings, we're doing those via Zoom. Possibly if you want to do that. So you can have, like a transcript or a recording of it as well, if you want that, right?
Right. We can record it right on Zoom there for you. Be glad to do that.
Yeah.
That way, it's a lot of information, and, the recording idea is great, Mary, because then they can go back and watch it a couple more times, or how many times they want.
Yeah, I was surprised, because I'm used to working like on a big psychic website to do most of my readings. And there, they're over the phone. You can do it via chat, that kind of stuff. But I don't do chat because I'm like, I don't want to type all this stuff up. But anywho, but I wasn't used to it, to doing recording readings for people, because like none of my clients are used to that. Like on that service, they don't do that. And I started like getting readings just this year, especially, where people were requesting like, oh, is there any way to record it? And I'm like, any way to record it? Geez, I don't know. I asked you, and then I ended up doing Zoom, and clients love that. And I like it too, because it's so great to be able to provide that, and they can go back and they can look at it. And especially if you have questions like over an extended period of time, like say you want to know what's going on for the next 6 months. Well, you get a reading on Tuesday or something, chances are by the following Tuesday, you don't remember what was said in that reading unless you took really good notes or something. And if you're asking about things that are going to happen through the end of the year or beginning of next year, you definitely, a recording can help a lot.
Yeah, you find yourself at now it's a few months later, it's the end of November, or you're in December, and wait, what did Mary say? So
what was that?
You can go back to the reference. Hey, we got a question coming in from Jason. And
Jason.
Yeah, he's popped over. Actually, he was on the Facebook, I think, and now he's on the YouTube. He's joining us over there. Yep. And so he's asking, when is the best time for? I'm not sure I 100% understand his question here, but we'll find out. When is the best time for me to meet up with my friends? I feel like it's been a long time. So I don't know if you want to clarify that a little, because when I first started reading it, it was like, what time today you should meet up with your friends. And then when you said it's been a long time, it's like, well, have you reached out and all?
Are you talking?
Or maybe he's asking when, he's going to get back in contact with these people or when he should contact them. I'm not sure.
When
So Jason, if you can clarify that a little bit for us so we know what to ask here. That's our friend Jason. He's been following us for years now. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Growing Old's popping in there. Hi, Growing Old.
Hey,
Yeah,
she's
she
back.
says, sorry, I'm late. She's a member of the
We were
Tarot
too.
Guild. Yeah, that's okay. We were too, right? Hang on just a second. I'm going to check something out. So if you want to pull a card, feel free.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
I
I
wanted
have
to
her.
look up her name. It's Rosie. Rosie on the Tarot Guild.
Mm.
Yeah, she's one of our members.
Well, Jason, I have a couple answers for you. It's really interesting. A lot of major cards come up on this: a strength card going into the world card, going
Wow.
into the final card, the magician. Take the initiative on this. You make it happen. Okay. Whenever it's a good time for you. Um, you know, Definitely need to reconnect, maybe. Um,
Mm.
we have the world card. What I like about the world card is a lot of times it's about coming together, you know,
Oh,
that
yeah.
idea of like, getting together, reuniting, completion, even. And oh,
The
just,
internet too. I always think of
I'm,
the internet when I see the world card.
yeah, connecting to the world. So you might be connecting through that. What's interesting to me is above the world card is the 10 of swords, and beneath it is the knight of swords. So if there's anybody, in this, group of friends that you're talking about, that maybe there was some like arguments in the past or something like that, or somebody was like a little too aggressive or something, it might be a good time to kind of, let bygones be bygones, and reconnect with that spirit of like, hey, you know, let's come together this time.
Hmm.
So that's just something. I don't know if there's anybody that would apply to, but when the 10 of swords comes up, coupled with the knight
Mm.
of swords,
Yeah.
then I think, okay, what happened? What happened? And
Mary, it's
it's time to
it's
move past it. Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
And it's exciting because I got a similar thing. I was going to ask the same thing because I got this the 8 of Cups here, and I'm going to see if I can get this in. I'll get them both in there here. 7 of Swords,
Oh,
not and 7 of Swords and 8 of Cups, and you know how he's in the card.
yeah,
He's stepping through the portal there, and the cups are emotions. He's leaving all the emotions here, and that along with the 7 of Swords, it's like, did something happen?
yeah,
And it's like it's saying you need to let go of that. You're kind of hung up right now. Like I did get the Hanged Man, so delay
mm,
and so forth. And then I got the nostalgia card again with the 6. I think
wow,
six is success. So I think you're going to be able to reconnect with the folks. Timing wise, when again it's 6, and I'm feeling more weeks than months. It could happen in the next 6 days. You could reconnect, and get out there and meet them in that time frame for sure. But it might take as long as maybe 6 weeks to put the gathering together. I don't know, but that's what's coming up with the timing. Speaking of timing, people have, I don't know. To me, timing is so easy. I mean, to me, it's pretty easy in tarot, but a lot of people they got difficulty with it, Mary. And I'm thinking on Monday, we're going to do another live in 2 days on Monday. I think that'll be our teaching moment. I think we should talk about tarot and timing on
yes,
Monday.
sounds good. That sounds like the right time to do it.
Yeah. And all
Did
our
it?
all our favorite ways to do timing. And there's some methods that folks use that I don't really use anymore, but we can still talk about them, for those that want to use them. Like, I don't really get too much into the suit associations anymore, cups being spring or summer, and pentacles or winter, and that kind of thing. If anything, I'm looking at that energy elementally about things along the lines of, is it going to be days, weeks, months, years? It's how quickly it's happening. And then I use the numerology. I use the number for the number. But I know some people rely on that, the way they do their timing. So it'll be really interesting. We can pull out our favorite methods and ideas on doing timing and tarot. So tune in for that on Monday. By the way, if you're enjoying the show, if you get something out of these shows, you learn something, you get a reading from us, and you enjoyed the reading and everything, get us a cup of coffee. That's another way you can keep us on air here. Go over to coffee.tarottoday.live and whatever amount you want to put in, just do a little donation. Send Mary and I a cup of coffee.
We love coffee.
We love coffee. I mean, I'm all about my lattes and my mochas. Hey, I was a barista for 20 years. So
I was a bartender for 2 months and wine steward for 2 months.
That's pretty much the same thing, because I mean, in Italian, bartender means it said barista. Barista is bartender. Yeah,
I did not know that. I did it just for the experience, and they wanted a wine steward / bartender, and I didn't really know that much about wine, so I went to Barnes and Noble and read all the latest issues of the wine magazines right before the interview. And I went to the interview and I'm like, blah, 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 Merlot, blah, 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 Riesling, and they're like, you've got the job. I'm like, oh, great. And what I didn't know, and maybe it's true about, baristas too in coffee houses.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, if you're like a bartender, or like if you work at a restaurant, like you're on your feet the whole time.
Yeah.
And I did not know that. And
we had those rubber mats behind the bar, to kind of cushion your standing.
Forget about it. I was like, oh, wow, this was a great experience. I can't do this.
Yeah, I got a little tired of it myself. And then I started opening my own businesses and, letting my employees stand. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that about me, that back in my 20s, I started, before Starbucks.
Wow.
I moved to Seattle, and there was Starbucks, Seattle's Best Coffee, and then there was the independent coffee places, right? And when you lived in Seattle, you only did one of those three things. If you went to Starbucks, you went nowhere else. If you went to Seattle's Best, you never set foot in a Starbucks. And it's ironic because Starbucks owns Seattle's Best now. And then the real snobs, and I was one of them, went to the independent coffee houses, and we wouldn't set foot in a commercial, Starbucks or Seattle's Best. Although I did prefer Seattle's Best over Starbucks. And then, I used to go to the coffee cart 3 times a day, get my hazelnut mocha, and, talking to some of the owners, they actually talked me into, you should do coffee, and you could, start a cart. And I did, and I went to Seattle's Best Coffee's school for commercial vendors, and all about coffee. And I used the Seattle's Best Coffee brand in all my coffee places. And my very last one was 2009. When I closed it down, it was in San Diego by then, and it was on University David's Coffee. Anybody out there from San Diego, you may remember it. That was me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm learning so much. It's
Yeah.
a time for the psychic spin. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
Yay.
let's set that up. Okay. So it's time for the psychic spin. We know what that means. We're going to look at the big questions. And so, Mary, you were saying in the news, everybody's talking about, recession and
Everybody. And
prices and
not even just the news. I
inflation.
mean, everybody I talk to, the
Oh,
clients
okay.
that I talk to, of course it's on the news like constantly. It's like, when is
Mm,
this going to come down? And plus, the whole election cycle, and everybody's promising us all kinds of stuff and blaming the other people for the situation, whatever. We
of
need the bottom
course.
line here. We need to know, because we go to the grocery store, milk is like $5 a gallon. It's insane. It's totally insane.
Mm,
So yeah, people want to know, when is this going to end? Is it going to keep going up? Are prices ever going to come down? We saw gas prices come down a little bit, and we were hoping, a lot of people were hoping that that would sort of trickle down, since that was sort of the excuse for things being
right.
so expensive elsewhere. And yeah, that hasn't really happened yet. So it might be a good idea to take a look at it. Is it going to get worse before it gets better?
And that's exactly what I was going to mention, is that some of the prices did come down, especially
Yeah.
here in Arizona. The gas prices, came down.
Yeah.
Um, but it hasn't translated to they were using that as the excuse, and it
Yeah.
hasn't translated into the other prices of the goods being transported coming down, which leads me to believe, as I'm very cynical about this and always have been, that if a company can find a way to gouge, they're going to
They'll
do
do
it.
it. Oh yeah.
Yes. And I just think that that's what's going on. That's what I think's
Yeah.
going on here.
Well, what
um
do the cards say?
I asked it as a straightforward yes no, and I got 3 yeses out of 5, 2 nos. Will the prices come down anytime soon? So that's a muddled answer. We're not getting a strong yes or no. It's leaning towards yes. I think, especially as we go through the rest of the year, into the end of the year, and then into the beginning of 2023, that's when we're going to start to see even more of this kind of. But I don't think it's going to be like a precipitous drop where the prices are just going to go boom, I don't think they're going to go like this, Mary. I think it's going to be, and if they come down at all, they're going to come down really slowly. In a market like in the housing market, you can have remember they had the housing bubble,
Mm-hmm.
and that pops and then the prices drop really fast. Most things are not forming bubbles like that, and it is in the car market. I think the car market, I think, is going to bust. I think the prices are going to eventually come down. But once companies get prices up, they're really hesitant to bring it down very much after that. It might be a little bit, but it's like, they want to hold on to those additional profits. I do think we're transitioning. The first card, I cut the deck and got the heart of the matter card, and it was the death card.
Mm.
Transition. Yes, I think we're in a transition. Um, I don't think it's going to be fast enough to help the elections.
Mm.
Um, I don't see it like, suddenly, but in the timing position, I'm getting the 4 of Wands. So it's a celebration card, and I'm thinking that's leaning towards 4 months as far as that goes. What else am I getting? Okay, so the Knight of Coins.
Mm.
That is the knight, right? Not the king. I'm still getting used to what it looks like on Chiro's deck. He puts the KN for knight, and then
Yeah.
I think just a K or maybe a KG for king. I think it's a K. And so, it's individual people, individual folks in control that have the control over all of this. I think by the end, we're all going to be really weary. You know how typically in the deck, 10 of wands is about being overburdened and the struggles and stuff like that. I got the 9 of wands again, and like I got for the when I was pulling the cards of the day, it's part of that 3, 6, 9 creativity and communication numbers. But in this version from Chiro, he looks pretty weary there. And
Yeah.
and that came towards the end, before the 4 of wands. And I think we're all going to get more weary of this before anything else. The only other card I'm getting, which was one of the yes cards, is the 2 of swords. So I think there's a cross purposes, cross ideas going on in the market. There's profit over
People,
and so I think that's what that's talking about, actually. What did you get on
it? Something interesting, and kind of happens sometimes when we're working with decks that like have a different approach and everything. Like, and I don't know why, but it just struck me. The 8 of swords came up in the past position, kind of like, how did we get here? And on the card itself is talking about needing to release ourselves from self-inflicted wounds. So I never really thought about that with the 8 of swords, because swords are of the mind or whatever. But yeah, the economy being where it sort of is a self-inflicted wound, but like globally, so much of this is connected to how the pandemic was handled worldwide, and that was such a mixed approach when you look at like all the different countries and everything, and how they approached it. And yet, we were all affected by it. But, so the 8 of swords comes up in the past position. What does it tell us? Well, going from that into the hanged man, where we are right now, that we're still in limbo with this. This isn't going away anytime soon. And I get the 7 of cups, as well as the 7 of wands. And we end with the page of wands there in the future. Finally, a little glimmer of hope. I'm gonna take it all the way out to April. I'm going to say this, we're not getting out of this. We're not really seeing, those good signs of hope until the spring, probably April timeframe, maybe beginning of April. When the wands start growing is one way to look at it, but yeah, so, we got to hang in there. It's not going to last forever. It never does, that, change is the only constant. So this is going to change as well. Prices coming down. I'm not really getting a sense of how far down they're going to come, but I think you're right, Dax, in saying that, people like to be getting those higher price items. From the business perspective, if they can keep it up, they will. And that 7 of wands, is saying like, okay, we're going to have to take protective measures. Look at your budget, look where you're shopping, look for better deals, find ways to do things to kind of adapt, the old saying, adapt or die, right? So this is something we're going to have to adapt to, at least for, the next 7 months. And then finally, we get a little bit of a break from this and things start to shift. So that is what I am getting. That's not too far off. It's not like years of runaway inflation and we're all broke, It's better outlook than that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. It's not for forever, but the other thing is that I think that it's not so much the market, it's more about timing with the time of year, with the elections coming up, with the end of the year being so close. Um, the whole December buying season, that's going to be interesting to see
Oh
what goes
yeah.
on with consumer products, because you know how they love to drastically drop the prices and make a lot of sales. I mean, that's when most businesses make most of their sales of the entire year, is the last quarter and especially the last month for the
Yeah.
holiday season. Are the prices still going to come down like they normally do?
What about Black Friday?
And yeah, Black Friday and supply. Is there going to be the supply for the demand? And that's why I think I got the 4 months.
Mm.
That it's going to take at least that long to get into the new year, and that's when you're going to see the shifts starting to happen. I
Or at
mean,
least
that's
some movement, hopefully, with the holiday season, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
we've
don't
been
want
really
it to be
lucky.
like, yeah, we don't want it to be like, sad and, nobody
Mhm.
can afford, you know, anything for the holidays, having to make homemade gifts, although homemade gifts are nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm also thinking of um oh,
Mm.
having a senior moment here. What was I talking about?
We need
Um
a sound effect for senior moments. I wonder
I
what that would sound
know.
like.
I
An
know. I know.
ambulance.
Um Oh, I
Uh,
remember now. I remember now because I started to say something, but then I stopped to let you finish what your thought there, and then what I was going to say popped out of my head. It's
mm,
because what I was going to say is that we've been really lucky here in Arizona, especially down here in Tucson. We're not seeing these crazy prices. For some reason, gasoline has always been cheaper here than in other parts of the country. I mean, California, where the crude and the gasoline, comes in and it's refined, is like anywhere from $1 to $2 more a gallon year round. Um,
yeah,
and then we have a pipeline that comes here. Um, and here it's cheap,
yeah,
at least a couple of dollars usually. And the prices went up. At one point it like hit 5, and then it's come way down now. Other parts of the country, I mean, they were seeing like European prices, $6 to $10 a gallon. And then other things like milk, and people were talking about 50-cent eggs, just incredible prices, and when I keep coming back to that gouging thing, because when I see something double, I know that the gasoline's gone up, but there's it just doesn't equate, Mary. There's not a doubling in the cost. And they say, well, supply chain and all that stuff. Yeah, but the parts get there. You put the parts together. It may cost you a few extra cents to get it transported to where it's going, but
yeah,
not double, or,
yeah.
or
Well, worker shortages too, have been,
Mhm.
something associated with that. And I'm in Texas. We're used to everything being dirt cheap. The gas, we
Mm.
make the gas,
You make the gas. Yeah.
you know, but, there, everything's connected, everything's connected, but gouging absolutely has been an issue, definitely with gasoline prices. And I don't know. I think it might be, but that might be another question to ask along with this, along with asking about when they're going to come down, if they're going to come down. Are Is gouging a part of it? Are people that can affect? the overall price,
Mhm.
so like the big wigs, the big companies, the big meat packers, the big,
Mm.
produce people, are they gouging on purpose, or was it a bad harvest like they're saying? Is it a
Mhm.
transportation issue, all of that,
Well,
or are
California's
they,
in that drought too. They've been in a drought for
yeah,
years now, actually. And um,
oh yeah,
but yeah, but here we haven't seen 50-cent eggs. I mean, yeah, things have gone up $1 here, 50 cents there, but not like they're seeing in other places. Of course, petrol's always been way expensive in Europe. That's why people ride a lot of bicycles and public transportation there. Uh,
yeah.
are they gouging? Are they gouging? Are they gouging? What are we seeing here? Um, hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, I got 4 out of 5 yes cards on that.
Wow.
Look, judgment came up. Dun, 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 dun.
Mm.
It's like the universe going, duh. Of course they're gouging. Of
Yeah.
course they're gouging. Um,
Yeah.
and I got the lover's card. And the original meaning of the lover's card, for a lot of folks was choice. Um, what I'm seeing with that is we're not talking about romantic love, but we're talking about um it,
Love of money.
yeah, it's the love of money and the coming together of the separate forces in a perfect storm where you you have all the different individual issues, and then you've got companies wanting to make money, and it's a
Yeah.
perfect love fest going on right now. The companies are loving it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, more millionaires and billionaires are made in recessions and in inflationary periods than in any other time.
Hmm.
Hmm. And then look
Something
what,
to think about. Yeah.
and they're playing us as the fool, as always.
We're just a pawn in their game.
Yep. Did you pull any cards on that?
I did, and I think it tells an interesting story, really.
Mm-hmm.
5 of Pentacles in the past position. So look, a lot of these companies that we're talking about did lose money previously. A lot of people,
Mm.
lost a lot of money, especially involved with transportation and everything, because people were under quarantine. So the demand went way down. If I don't know if you remember this or not, but during like kind of the height of the pandemic, oil went negative. And that like really hurt a lot of people in Texas, especially like Midland, Odessa, where the oil fields are, that kind of thing. When oil was like worth nothing, that was crazy. So then what happens, that's in the past. And now you have the King of Swords kind of representing like these big wigs, right? And 7 of Wands comes up underneath them. So now he's protecting, you know. It's gouging in the sense of like, no, I'm going to recoup that loss that I had before. I'm holding on
Mm.
to it now. I'm not giving any
Interesting.
leeway, because we also have the Hanged Man too. So there are people keeping those prices up, I think, whether we call it gouging or a protective stance. Yeah, I guess it's like, how we want to look at it. But in the future position, I have the 2 of Wands. So they're going to reach a crossroads where they can't get away with it anymore.
Mm.
So I feel like, yeah, that's a factor. But, you know, if we can try and see from the perspective of what the experience was like to be in some of these industries, where they were pretty sure that they were going to stay in business for a long time. They were pretty sure
Yeah.
that they were just going to keep making profits, and then the world got turned upside down on them, and a lot of like refineries shut down. Like a lot of people went out of business, and a lot of people suffered losses, even though they had the government program to help them. Um, that help didn't always trickle down in a even way, let's
Yeah.
say, right? So there's reasons why
Recouping the
people are,
losses.
yeah,
I
there's
still think
reasons
a lot of
why.
companies made a lot of money even during the COVID crisis part, when in 2020,
Absolutely,
it's really, but
absolutely,
a lot of especially smaller companies lost money.
yeah.
One card from that draw that I didn't mention is the Eight of Wands. And
Mm,
I think that goes along with what you said just a minute ago, and that it's getting the word out. It's, because when I get the Eight of Wands, a lot of times it's the internet for me. That and
mm,
the world card, especially if the world card's next to the Eight of Wands, but it's things happening quickly, and so fast communication. So that's where the idea for a contemporary meaning of the card, the internet, telecommunications, things like that. Some of the swords
mm.
cards fit that as well. But that's what I think is going on, is that unlike other periods, we are so vested in social media and the internet now that we can get the information out quickly. And I think it's between the companies and the powers that be versus everyday people like you and me, and the only way we have to fight back is the communication. And
Complain.
yeah, and if we, if more and more people would take their camera and video the gouging and get it on YouTube, um talk to interview their fellow citizens where they are and what's going on with the pricings and things like that, and talk about this stuff, and talk shows, and Joe Rogan needs to do something. I'm just saying, yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
the only way we have, for fighting back. Anyway, so
Hmm.
we will be back on Monday. And don't
Yes.
forget, don't forget to buy us a cup of coffee.tarottoday.live. And if you want a longer reading with us, pop over to tagteam.tarottoday.live. You can book a private session with Mary and I together. That's right.
Together.
Yep. And we are already like a few minutes past top of the hour. For those that usually join us on Blog Talk Radio, we're sorry that we were not able to connect. I'm going to see.
Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, Mercury retrograde. We apologize. I'm going to see if we can get that to work. Let me give one last look, see if there's any. I did want to mention that it was Rosie on YouTube had pulled the Emperor, and that makes a lot of sense. That was right when we
Oh,
were talking about the powers that be, and the Emperor.
perfect. Perfect.
Good job there. Good job there. What's Jason saying? The lovers for the Thoth deck is art. Art. Okay. So in Toth or Thoth, or however you want to pronounce it, he's saying
Cahote.
it means Chicote. Isn't that on Star Trek?
Oh, Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
No,
No,
Tejote. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways. I love it.
he's saying it means art. It means art. Maybe we need to sell the art and get everything moving again. I don't know. Bobby was asking for a question. I wrote back earlier and asked, what's your question, Bobby? You still haven't told us. Hello. We keep asking you. I've already asked him multiple times in there, to let us know what is
Aw,
Your
I'll pull a
question.
card for Bobby before we go. Since we're leaving, I'm going to pull Bobby a crystal wisdom card right
Awesome
now.
sauce. Pull a card.
Very
Pull a card.
exciting. Whatever this is, that's your message. And I'm going to close my eyes so I do pick it randomly. My eyes are
Nice.
officially closed because it has stuff on both sides of the card. And the card is serpentine, Bobby. Bobby.
Ah, nice.
Serpentine, which is a beautiful stone, green stone, but the message is about transformation. My life is transforming at the perfect time in the most powerful way. That's your message, Bobby. Tune in next Monday and let us know like how your life is transforming in the
Right.
most powerful way. I want to hear about that. That sounds very exciting.
Hey, real quickly, I got Ace of
Ooh,
Wands and Six of Wands. So
that's exciting.
fire, passion, following your passion. You have this new over here. I can't move. Okay, here we go. Camera's backwards. Over here, you got this new opportunity, right? And you're going to be successful at that. So, if there's anything in your life right now, a career change, or, maybe you have that special passion project that you want to get going. Yes, the cards are saying, yes, you're going to be successful at that. Start something new with that.
Yeah.
That Ace of Wands. There we go. Okay, we're out of here. We'll be back on Monday. Tune in, same bat time, same bat channel. So it'll be 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. London. And just go over to tarottoday.live and join us on the YouTube live. And enjoy the rest
Bye,
of your weekend.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.